And now at this point in the countdown, the Soyuz first and second stage engines are ready for launch.
Inserted. Copy.
And the launch key has been inserted in the launch bunker to transition the launch sequence into automatic mode. At the time of launch, the International Space Station will be flying over northern Uzbekistan, and about 30 seconds after launch, the International Space Station will fly directly over the Baikonur Cosmodrome. This will allow the International Space Station to leapfrog ahead of the Soyuz during the booster's climb to orbit.
Station Houston on Space Ground 2, no response required. We're about 5 minutes out from the Soyuz launch. We are uplinking NASA TV if you want to follow.
Now less than 5 minutes until launch, the systems have been switched to onboard power and the commander's cockpit displays and controls are activated. Earlier, the crew members closed their helmets which put them on suit oxygen. Still tracking no issues ahead of today's launch. Less than 4 minutes until launch today, the fuel lines and other elements of the rocket engines are being purged with nitrogen to fireproof them by removing vapors of fuel and oxidizer. Coming up shortly, the booster's fuel tanks will be pressurized for flight.
Лифtoff. Принято.
Pressurization initiated. Copy. We can see commander and flight engineer on our screens from
and the booster fuel tanks are now being pressurized for flight. "90 seconds until launch. And the ground propellant feed has now been terminated. Soyuz now on internal power.
Земля, борт.
Vehicle to internal power. Copy.
First umbilical tower has separated from the booster, and we have auto sequence start.
Пуск.
Auto sequence initiated.
Зажигание.
Ignition.
Предварительное.
Second umbilical
Launch command
tower
has been
separate.
issued.
Промежуточное.
Engine turbo pump set flight speed. Engines at maximum thrust and liftoff. Yeah.
Liftoff of the Soyuz
We are
MS-21.
off. So let's work in space together.
Параметры управляют системой ракет достигли в норме.
All the parameters of the launch vehicle are nominal. Copy. Everything is well on board and the crew
30
is
seconds
doing great.
into flight, everything going as planned. At this second, the International Space
30
Station is
seconds,
flying
all the
directly over
parameters
the
of the
Baikonur
launch vehicle
Cosmodrome.
are nominal.
Час.
One minute into today's flight, continuing to hear good calls.
60 секунд.
60 seconds into the
Velocity
flight,
is over
your pitch and,
1,100 miles
fuel
per
are
hour.
Nominal. Copy. Everything is good on board. The crew is feeling well.
Секунд двигатели первой и второй ступени работают
The thrusters of the first and second stage are firing nominally. Everything is stable. Copy.
Continuing to hear good calls,
We felt
everything
the separation
proceeding
of the
nominally.
first stage. Copy. First stage separation.
And the 4
130
strap-on
seconds
boosters
into
have
the
been
flight.
jettisoned.
All the KGO parameters are nominal. The pressure is 811. All parameters are nominal.
150 двигатель второй ступени работает устойчиво.
150 seconds into the flight, the thrusters of the second stage are firing nominally. Copy.
Из мозга равно обтекателя.
So the jettisoning of the launch shroud. Yeah, we have the flag of
This view from the
control
Soyuz
distance,
MS-21
on
as
the
it
flight. Copy.
continues its climb uphill, everything proceeding as planned.
Стабилизация изделия.
150 seconds into the flight, the vehicle is stable. Copy. Everything is good on board. All the parameters are nominal.
Принято.
Copy.
The Soyuz core stage is performing as expected.
Параметры системы.
210 seconds into the flight.
This stage will continue to burn until the 4-minute 43-second mark into flight. Now just about 3 minutes and 45 seconds and counting into today's flight of Soyuz MS-21.
240, двигатель второй степени.
240 seconds into the flight. Second stage engines are operating nominally. Copy.
Second stage engine performing as expected. This view from the upper stage camera of the Soyuz rocket, everything continuing to proceed as expected. Now 4 minutes and 37 seconds into today's flight.
Nominal. Copy. And standing by for GK2 second stage engine cut-off command. GK2 main engine cut-off command confirmed. Second stage separation confirmed.
The core booster now separating.
Стабилизация изделия устойчива.
310 seconds.
Soyuz now being propelled by the single engine of the Soyuz third stage.
Copy. Everything is fine on board, and the crew is feeling great.
Параметры бортовых систем норма.
Onboard system parameters are nominal. Copy.
Soyuz still performing as expected.
360 ангар, шутка не.
360 seconds into the flight. Pitch, yaw, and roll parameters are nominal. Copy, and the crew is feeling excellent.
Soyuz now traveling over 11,000 miles per hour.
Into the flight, and the launch vehicle is steady. Copy.
The next milestone that we'll be looking towards is third stage cutoff and separation, slated to occur at the 8-minute 46-second mark into today's flight. We're now 7 minutes and 20 seconds into the launch of Soyuz MS-21, headed to the International Space Station with 3 Russian cosmonauts on board.
Report on the onboard system parameters. Water partial pressure is 20.2. Copy. 20.2.
$470.
470 seconds into the flight. Third stage engines operating nominally. Copy. Launch lead. Everything is fine.
Soyuz continuing to perform as expected.
Copy.
Now coming up on third stage shutdown.
Seconds into the flight. Getting ready for third stage separation.
510.
510 seconds into the flight.
520.
520 seconds into the flight.
530.
530 seconds into the flight.
Есть контакт отделения.
Stage 3 separation is confirmed. And congratulations on the successful orbital insertion, and I will...
And we have confirmation of spacecraft separation.
Dawn, this is Moscow.
The Soyuz capsule and crew inside now are safely in orbit, and the spacecraft is automatically executing its pre-programmed commands to deploy the antennas and solar arrays.
This is MCC Moscow. Come in.
Дон, это по Москвы, как нас слышно?
John, this is MCC Moscow.